When the First World War began in 1914, few believed it would become one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. By 1918, Europe was devastated, entire empires had collapsed, millions were dead, and nations were exhausted. But the war did not simply end on the battlefield, its conclusion came through tense diplomacy, conflicting national interests, and the creation of one of the most controversial documents in history, the Treaty of Versailles. This is the story of how World War I finally ended. The final year of war. By early 1918, Germany launched one last desperate offensive, the Spring Offensive, hoping to defeat the Allies before American troops arrived in massive numbers. Although initially successful, the offensive eventually stalled. The German army was exhausted, supplies were running out, and morale collapsed. Meanwhile, American soldiers arrived in Europe at a rate of 10,000 per day, tipping the balance. By the autumn of 1918, Germany's allies had fallen one by one. Bulgaria surrendered first, followed by the Ottoman Empire, and then Austria-Hungary shattered into smaller nations. Germany, left alone and facing internal revolution, realized the war was lost. The Armistice, the 11th of November 1918. Germany requested a ceasefire. On the morning of the 11th of November 1918, deep inside a forest in Champagne, France, German representatives signed the Armistice Agreement with the Allies. At exactly 11 a.m., the guns fell silent. For the first time in 4 years, the world heard something unfamiliar: peace. But the armistice was only temporary. The final and most important step was crafting a permanent peace treaty. And that responsibility fell to the leaders who gathered at the Paris Peace Conference. The Paris Peace Conference, January 1919. In January 1919, diplomats from more than 30 countries arrived in Paris to design a new world. But, in reality, the fate of the defeated powers, especially Germany, would be decided by the Big Three. Woodrow Wilson, President of the United States, idealistic and focused on creating a peaceful future. Georges Clemenceau, Prime Minister of France, determined to weaken Germany forever. David Lloyd George, Prime Minister of Britain, walking a tight balance between justice and practicality. These three men had different visions. Wilson's 14 points. Wilson wanted a fair peace. His most important idea was the formation of a League of Nations, an international organization to prevent future wars. Clemenceau's demands. Clemenceau, known as the Tiger, wanted revenge. France had suffered more than any other allied nation. He wanted Germany punished harshly, its land taken, its army destroyed, and its economy crippled. Lloyd George's position. Britain wanted peace, but not one that would destabilize Europe. He feared that if Germany was punished too harshly, it might lead to future conflict or a communist revolution. These conflicting goals turned the conference